Hey guys, it is Monday, August the 9th day of tracking. I'm headed to a work lunch meeting with my team. We're saying goodbye to one of the nurses. I'm inheriting like 8 of her patients. So I've had a crazy morning of trying to close out several charts for people that graduated last month. So like the first of this month we close everybody out, and then I have a lot of other admin stuff that I'm doing. So that it's been busy this morning, and it's almost noon, so I'm going to this lunch. We're going to like a hibachi sushi place. So my plan is to get sashimi because I'm trying to fit within the parameters of like lower carb, keeping within my calorie range, and staying on the fast, which is proving difficult. So we're in a 2-week fasting period for the Orthodox Church, and in this period we're doing no meat, no dairy, no wine, no oil. So that leaves like fruits, vegetables, and grains. Well, I'm not really doing the grains, so I'm having to adjust. It's been very interesting, and it's been a good challenge for me. So really what I've been focusing on is obviously no chicken, no beef, no pork, nothing like that. I am having a little bit more like lower carb grains, like some of the low carb things that you can buy at the store to help, you know, round out what I'm eating. And then like I'm going for sushi, and sashimi is fish, and technically we don't do that. We don't do anything with a backbone. So if you want to look up Eastern Orthodox Christianity, that's what I am. Our fasting rules, and you can kind of see why that's difficult to do some of the things. We have big fasting periods, and this one is just like a 2-week one. We're coming up on winter Lent, and that one is a 40-day fast. It messes with what I'm doing, so you know, it's kind of one of those things where you're like, have I picked a plan that actually works with my lifestyle? And I'm not sure yet. This has been a whole new situation this year. Trying to do lower carb, and that's just, I don't know. We have people in our church, you know, that I've talked to my husband, because my husband's a priest, because they do things like, you know, carnivore, low carb, Atkins, gluten-free. You know, we've got people with celiac, like true celiac. So he has to make adjustments. That's not really the issue. The issue is it makes it really difficult at home purchasing, like making so many different things for the two of us. I don't know. It's definitely a challenge. I'm not real sure what to do about it right now. So I'm just trying to get through the 2 weeks and then see where I'm at. But anyway, today we're focusing on tracking, and that is the focus for the month, is tracking. I love that you guys are checking in and saying, well, I wasn't really on plan, but I did, you know, track. That person just ran a red light. So yeah, you're saying, you know, maybe you didn't stay within your calories or your points or whatever, but you're tracking, and that is the whole goal. So we're not taking breaks from tracking. You know, if you have a really high point day or a high calorie day or a high carb day, you're still going to track it. We're trying to establish a habit, and then next month we're going to work on something else for our challenge. The idea being that you're feeling good about tracking every day. We'll add something into that, and I'm not sure what. So sound off down below on what that next piece looks like. Do you want to...
New text message from Asher.
Asher's texting me. From, do you want it to be a water, a step? Do we want to try to stay on program perfectly for all of September? That's a big one. You know, that is a big one. Even just the tracking, I can tell for some of you guys, it's a real challenge to even get through a week of tracking. You know, maybe you need to track again in September. Like maybe that's your primary focus right now. I think if you go back to when you first start Weight Watchers, I remember this from all the many times that I went on and off plan. They always start with tracking. You know, that's the thing that you master first. You don't really worry about what you're putting in your body or anything like that, really. Just that first, you know, couple of weeks, it's about tracking. I think some of us need longer than that because it's such a integral, I can never say that word, part of what we're doing, and then it's so hard to master for some people. Some people, it's not. If you love tracking and don't have a problem with it, let me know. I feel like some of us that do have an issue, we're more vocal. And then there's those of you out there that really this is not an area that you need to master. You've got other stuff. So by the end of the year, I have several things that I personally want to work on. Where is this place that I'm going? Tracking is the beginning of it. I really want to work next month personally on staying in my calorie range. And that's really challenging for me. Like I just noticed with tracking, tracking really points out like what your challenges are, and staying in my calorie goal is like I just am always just above the 1500 lately. I don't know what's going on. I was doing really well, but I really think that maybe I wasn't honestly tracking. That's what I think was happening. That's honestly what I think. Is I thought I was tracking really honestly, and then after this last weekend, I'm like, Amy, you were missing some of this weekend munching, and that's why you're not consistent enough to see the outcomes that you want. You guys, consistency really is the key. You know, you can do everything perfectly for 5 days, but then if you have 5 days on and 5 off, you undo all of that good work. Even 5 days on, 2 days. It doesn't take much, I've noticed, to undo the 5 days on. You can tell that I have been I've got some of my little northern accent coming out today. I don't know what's going on with that. I had some conversations today with some of my northerners, and I can hear it. I moved around a lot, so you pick up different things, and I have people constantly say, you don't have much of an accent, but then I'll say things that sound very like southern or northern or whatever, and then I'm like, wait a minute, it's confusing. If I go to Florida, there's a lot of New Yorkers there, and I used to live in New York, so then I'll pick up all this stuff, and then I'm like, not bad, but don't sound like myself. Okay, anyway, that was a whole long digression. So I'm at this place. I'm gonna go eat my Asian cuisine, so that will be fun. This is the daily check-in for tracking. I'm trying to do these a little earlier during the week so that you guys can, you know, let me know what your goals are for the day and how you're doing. So this is a little lunch check-in. I'll go ahead and upload this and let me know. Okay. Also, if you didn't post your goals for the week, I want to hear, like, what are your goals? You know, you want to track every day, and what? Maybe you have some personal goals. When we do goal setting in my job, we don't just look at, like, healthcare goals or mother-baby goals, or we look at, like, do you need to make your bed every day this week? Like, honestly, when we're talking about self-care, do you need to make some appointments or go to appointments that you've been avoiding? Do you need to pay a bill? That sort of thing. So, when you're thinking about goals for the week, jot them down below. That's cool. You know, it'll keep you accountable. And I will be checking in at a later point, maybe today and maybe not till tomorrow. We'll just have to see how insane the rest of my day goes. You should see my office. It's completely disasterized, basically, at this point. I got up this morning to a beautifully clean house, and I wrecked everything. So the cats were looking at me like, what's wrong with you? Woman, why are you so messy? Okay, anyway, I'm going to go into Kawa's, that's where I'm eating, and get my sashimi and my work friend time. Thank God I love all the girls I work with. These types of meetings are wonderful because they're just awesome. So I'm going to go hang out with them, and I will see you guys later. Stay in orbit. track today. If you haven't started, get your tracker out. Start right now. Bye.